not Neon. I also am a favor of the Neon pick, but we're not going to get it. We are going to get the Raze duel, so just as good here. Let's see what they have for each other to start off. I think Orb Control may spell the name of the game in the early part here, as we have a lot of slow play to gauge who's going to be pushing. MIBR not really trying to feign any mid push, but are trying to get a bit of that C control. There's a death pile of utility for Chosen over at A. We probably see that almost every round here.
You already see it. Davies still watching their backs win. MIBR are trying to do some sort of trap play through the smoke, but KRU looking to initiate towards A. Rotation already coming back from MIBR, and there's that turret spawning the first contact. But breaking through the door, it's time to pivot towards that B site, where currently FRZ's winning at the top. Big paranoia to push him back. Kesnet gaining that space. Wow. 1v1 against FRZ. A double swing about to come out. And it's MIBR with a 2 first bloods in this round.
Incredibly aggressive scaling into the site without knowing what is deeper in that defensive area. MIBR, open arms, grab a few kills there. And now they're looking for the final 3.
Right Click Classic is the name of the game inside of this smoke. MIBR looking to push through. A couple of kills coming across. Melzer wins both
2v2
of those 2 kills, and Davies on the flank. There's only FRZ. 13 HP, turret comes out, jump spot. And we are playing the protocols for KRU on the pulse plan, flushing out FRZ, letting the turret be the contact. And there's almost going to be no time.
Why did I sign up for this shit?
KRU turns it around in their favor. Davies picking up the last kill where it should have been MIBR's round.
It's the Sky voice line there. I didn't sign up for this. Exactly. Just continuously forced to double take, then fight the turret and not get the kill that they needed. KRU pick up pistol round. Very reminiscent of the start of Bind. A lot of good frags here, and then patience at the end, which is what we've been asking for from both of these teams in these tight situations. That push forward again, a little aggressive, but they still are able to stave off a loss, come out with a win there.
Yeah.
All right, KRU, aggressive strategy towards B to start things off, get up close and personal on MIBR to start off our Lotus match. And they do focus, as we saw, pushing towards A. Kesnet on the ultimate last round. A lot of times you'll get the Seekers focused or the Lockdown focused, but we do see that Raze being a priority for KRU here. All the way into B, Waltz's KRU.
Snuck in behind the Toxic screen. Toxin trying to go for the peek off the turret contact, but 2 players actually slipped through. So that's the first player falling down. A site's open. Another one trying to catch one off guard. That's Maurice trying to swing back towards the spawn, but cannot get the pick. Plant will come down, and it's time to play the pulse plant for KRU.
Yep.
And this time around, you've mentioned it, Riv, there's no harbor that we see, but there's still a double controller for both of these teams. And pulling out this Raze, I still will be in a little bit of a disagreement with you. I do like the Razes on this map. Because of all these trap plays that's been coming out from KRU on that first map with Kesnet, this is definitely something that they could do here to continue to add that pressure for gaining space and playing these pulse plants.
Oh!
Yeah, nice little shot coming out here.
Little damage.
Even nicer out from Melzer.
Yeah, just quickly trading quick. And another Molly kill.
And we're gonna actually try to pick up the orbs instead. Okay, that's actually quite interesting. Staying within the radius.
Exactly.
MIBR involuntarily actually did a lot of damage in that eco after all.
Huh, getting themselves in a position. And KRU do pick up another one, but lose a little bit of the economy there. We'll see if that affects them coming into this round. Melzer are figuring what they can buy.
Oh, yeah.
It's just going to be the Sheriff. So this bonus is going to feel a little weird.
It definitely affects them. Davies was looking to get that Vandal. Hey, I don't have enough money. We got to play the bonus. They actually were inching towards 3 Vandals in this round for KRU. And instead of that, it's just 1 Guardian, 1 Vandal. But a Guardian in the hands of Kesnet could do a lot of damage.
A control play. And we saw it before. Instant shots, whether they're happening over towards Hookah or here on Lotus. And everybody from MIBR is B. This allows them to quickly spread out to either side, either site, and react to KRU here. So MIBR is just looking to stay a little closer to what KRU may be able to produce this round. Is this an alt grab? They go for left one. And just Kesnet needs one here. That would actually be a huge boon for this round if they can get map control for that.
And Melzer's actually the one that was making sure they could prevent any pushes coming out from MIBR, covering that orb. Now it's picked up by Kesnet. An opportunity to go for a late hit now in the C-side, using the showstopper as the opener.
There.
MIBR reads into this, though. 3 players are rotating across.
This is where I do really favor the Rays. Being able to blast pack to the elbow here of C, so hard to deny. You go over the Killjoy utility if it is present. And they're going to pay a little door play as they go quasi-global with the audio here to try and trick MIBR into rotating.
Flash, Paranoia, double satchel, showstopper out.
Little rail grind.
Playing CPMA at this point. Clearing out the side though for C. It's a post plant on a 5 versus 5 retake for MIBR with the weapon advantage.
Yeah, they're huddled in sight right now, hunkered down, ready to defend here. 3 from sight, 2 from waterfall. This is gonna have to be MIBR closing in on the guns as quick as possible.
Keeping the smokes close so they can play inside the site. Trying to use these sheriffs for some kills. Nice shot by Chosen through the smoke. Big Paranoia then coming out. Time for MIBR to flood back for the retake. Nax it around the corner. Vulnerable to a couple of players. But it's MIBR that floods and drowns KRU on the post plant.
You
to
expect
get the first point on the round.
Expect that on the eco. It's kind of like a stop hitting yourself. Stop hitting, you just run in and you're able to trounce your opponent. So there's the first round to defuse. It has been KRU getting in, being able to find success on the sites, get that spike down and pressure MIBR to the fullest. MIBR answer. See what they can keep doing. So KRU do suffer a little bit on that bonus from losing quite a few members, and MIBR come out with the W. Where do they go from here? This A control has been big to start the last few rounds for MIBR. Quick nade, quick rubble pressure, and then they force the hand of KRU to do something else.
Oh, a double shot at step, a flash to allow for RGL to try to push forward, but he got hit by that. So Melzer takes the advantage. Capitalizes on the kill, KRU pushing forward. Continue to hold W as they catch players of MIBR off guard, not expecting Melzer to be so close towards rubble.
Just a firing range. They're taunting each other to come out and compete there at rubble. You got to get a few of these rounds in to test each other. And you see a quick rotation back by Chosen just to kind of set up the map in a safer position.
Sometimes you got to make those plays. 2-player disadvantage. Marie's trying to push forward. TP now canceled. So that's actually going to leave MIBR anchored towards A.
Good peeks for Maurice here, getting a lot of information to allow MIBR the correct positioning to defend, but at 1-1-1 across the map, it's going to be difficult.
Yeah.
As KRU look to just go right into B, but into that Killjoy utility.
You're hoping now Chosen in his spot could do that econ damage, drop some players at least to get some chances for MIBR.
The delay
on a pulse plan as KRU is looking to push towards B. There's that first delay with the first nano swarm for Chosen. A spray then across with the Vandal. But KRU still makes it in. Plant now comes down with 13 seconds left. Got some damaged players though.
Yeah, Trailblazer. There's a lot of damage though on Klaus there. That utility they need to get back in. So if Klaus can stay alive, this makes it infinitely harder for MIBR. Otherwise, just a few nice shots, even at the legs, could whittle down KRU's numbers.
MIBR avoided the Trailblazer, and they know with this alarm bar placed towards that baby door, they're not getting pressured yet.
I think they're...
Oh yeah, they're picking up weapons to save here.
Looks like it. I was gonna say they're pressuring themselves in this moment as everything heats up. But it looks like this one's gonna fizzle out here. Well, Spike won't, but the round in favor now of MIBR. They pick up a second one, or sorry, of KRU. They pick up a third, I should say. And MIBR saved 3 here. I feel like both teams know rounds are gonna go either way, right? MIBR is feeling much more comfortable in these situations that they'll need full gun rounds to pressure KRU. They can't be giving up a few guns here and there. This is gonna take everything.
Yeah. FRZ, really what he could work with is maybe a Sheriff is gonna get a Bulldog drop. While the rest, saving those 3 rifles are gonna be very important, as you mentioned here, Riv. They felt that pressure from KRU earlier on towards that A site. They go for their triple push. Adding that pressure, pushing forward once again towards Rubble, and finally gets locked down. So you can get these early rotates now from MIBR towards B and C. Well, Maurice has these 2 snake bites. Lays the first one down.
Davies one away from lockdown. They continue to farm orbs on both sides of the map. They really can't stop each other at this point.
Walk in for contact like that. Kesnick gets the opener. Payne shells to push a second defender back, and that's going to be JZZ. Holding it behind. Door being open. Long-range battle in favor of Davies. And that might be it right away for MIBR.
Yeah, Davies coming back into the end of the regular season for Xeddie. Seeing those frags against Sentinels and Cloud9, still bringing a bit of that momentum now a month later. This is going to be a tough one to retake. Jumping around like it's a jungle gym in there as LGL does find a frag on Melzer.
And MIBR are hoping that these overheats could continue on this post plant to get a chance to come back. But after that second satchel and hearing that spike ticking down, finally we have the confirmation. Cannot punish any more crew members on a post plant to hurt that economy where they would have had a chance here, a fighting chance over to the next round.
And again, crew able to just throw in slight variations. This one controlling the map into a complete dry peak. That was close. That was a little offhanded shot, almost hitting one in the head there as RGL dodges.
Hard to shoot when the banner comes in front of your face like that.
That's true. So what is this? But you expect a blast pack here. You expect audio, a cue, something. But it was not the case. The door opens and Davey fires true through it, as that was just from the teammate too, so they had to be aware of all their surroundings on the side of crew. 4-1 now, reminiscent of our first map, but MIBR fighting back a little sooner this time. Crew looks to pull away even more though on these rounds.
Davies with those kills now has a lockdown activated. And not playing any type of lurks or any type of defaults. Just gonna be a full hit now. Another orb being picked up on the attack. Trailblazer spotting chosen as once again a firing range through the opening doors.
Yeah, ambitious Vandal spams.
Maybe you don't even need that lockdown anymore. A site now open, plant coming down. Use a lockdown on a pulse plant if needed be. But already once again in these situations where crew gets a plant.
Yeah.
It's such a huge disadvantage already for MIBR to come back for the retake. Always 2 players behind, 2 players at a disadvantage. And they don't have the players, the utility to do what they can to try to go for this retake. And on top of that, dropping players, losing weapons.
Yeah. And you look at that econ too. 0, 150, 100, 1,050 credits. FRZ though?
Clean shots though at least. And yeah, the round's still gonna come in for a crew, but at least you can get a couple of highlight reels if you can for FRZ. Until Davies, the player now currently shining on this second map.
Yeah.
For crew.
Looking really good. Love the initiator utility on that KO, now on the Killjoy. Doing some big stuff. And looking at how crew is playing these rounds, they continue to pressure MIBR in ways that almost seems like MIBR is disjointed in the response, right? Crew goes for a push towards the door, and MIBR answers with spamming through the door. But you had JZZ pushing up mid to try and get a flank. So that flank works better when A stays alive, right? It seems like MIBR is fighting on too many parts of the map before their strategy on defense can come into position.
And sometimes it's just unlucky too, right? We've seen this story so far in this head-to-head for these 2 teams that MIBR are just suffering the blunt force of these spam kills coming out from crew.
Yeah, crew forces your hand in a lot of these situations. It's not like you have a choice.
Yeah.
All right, lockdown in. This will give us a little bit of a slowdown on the round here as MIBR resets their defense. We'll see if crew actually bites here and full takes on A.
Yeah.
There it is, into win. See if they plant for mound or plant inside. Not a lot of mound plants have been used recently, or at least in this game that we've seen.
Yeah.
It's all site defense now. They don't want to play this aim for the head game over mound.
Even playing inside the site.
Yeah.
Showstopper available, and we're just spraying once again a wall bang. Showstopper out for Kesnet. JZZ falls. And now with the Sheriffs remaining in the hands of MIBR, this little Shiko that they have only works out for 1 kill against Kesnet. Maurice so low on HP.
1 enemy remaining.
See if they make it out this time.
What can you really do?
No one's shoes are tied together. They get the kills before they have to get out in time. The Crew fans are feeling it. Crew is feeling it. 6-1. One more, they replicate our first map first half score. As they continue to punish, only losing the bonus round on this one and then pulling it right back in their Okay, Davies.
That's what I'm saying,
my
man.
Gosh. And that's a lot of what happened in the first round too, right? We saw Klaus getting smoke frag after smoke frag. Davies now getting these offhanded kills through walls that aren't allowing the retake of the site by MIBR. And that everything falling in favor of Crew here, and not just by chance. They are lining these things up.
It almost feels that that's been a practice as well for Crew. Not only the mental that Coach Adam was talking about earlier on with Smix, but it's also just optimizing what they're currently doing here on taking sites, playing these pulse plants. And surprisingly enough, you're getting a lot of these kills with sprays, 2 smokes, but with Vandals.
Yeah. Right, there are a lot of Vandals, and they're happy to keep spraying that and try and find the refrag there.
And Crew doesn't care about the magazine actually dropping out with the latest patches. They're just spraying and still landing these shots. As
That's
if
true.
we never had the nerfs here in the Phantom and the Vandals and what's left in the reserve of the bullets. 6-1 now in favor of Crew. Familiar territory from the first map on Bind.
Yeah. Full buys throughout. MIBR considering that less reserves with an Odin in hand now. Chosen, ready to spam some people down. We'll see if that has a return on investment for him. Ultimate's ready just from the shadows, but FRZ can identify what the strategy of Crew here is if they want to use a 3 push out to mount right away. All right, a little different look here as MIBR starts to control the map and basically cut off one site, right?
Yeah.
Play it a lot like Haven and just make sure you have to defend only
exactly
2.
That's exactly it. Adding the pressure on C, adding the pressure on A, this time gambling for the C push to flood Crew into the Killjoy utility. Set up now by Chosen on A. There's that alarm bot, gets shot off right away. But still a great position, Crew moving forward where they are right now. Control of the orb. Late rotates that are available if they want to break the door and move back towards B, and that's where MIBR is actually moving here.
Right.
Going left and right with the push and pull, and trying to catch some players off guard if this door gets broken and Crew commits to B.
Looks like they're ready to C4 the door. Just blast right through. Here we go. Rest of the team.
Through. Paranoia then comes out. Pain Shells just to clear one corner. Seeker's then coming out, giving out actually the defender's position away, and they're chasing that on Davies, and he just can't. 2 players falling down once again. The story continues, hitting a site, losing left. 2 or 3 players for MIBR, and there's really no answer and nothing you could do here on pulse plants but save.
Wow. Chosen fires the Odin, and Crew says, nah, we don't really want that. Go right through the baby door into B and find everything they want in FRZ, Maurice, and JZZ. Insta-kills coming in there. The pressure on to C wasn't even seen by Crew this round, right? They avoided it almost immediately after hearing the utility. Crew playing the mid-round of these maps so well. The decisions they're making, everybody's behind them, and you can see how well they're being executed.
Player standing.
Can't even save the Odin either.
RGL. All right.
Silver lining, they get something.
Yeah, they get Davies. Be like, okay, Davies down. Let's keep doing that. Replicate. The 7-1 comes back to haunt MIBR.
Unlucky, really.
Oh, good Lord, too. It's like, even in that situation, that you can't really call a mistake, but you throw out Seekers and you're just peeking around the Seekers. Your opponent's not affected by them yet. The Seekers haven't found anything for you. It's almost like a dry peak overall. So I think MIBR is getting a little too antsy in how secure their strategies feel, right? Without reconsidering. Crew has been on the winning end of a lot of these trades.
Yeah. But finally an opportunity here for MIBR to turn things around in round number 9.
Yeah.
Lots of ults available for retakes this time around and actually doing a great job doing some early damage with their own sprays through smokes, forcing out the regrowth very early out from Klaus.
Shadows traveling.
And even forcing KRU to rethink how they want to attack this map, pulling back down towards spawn. Davies with the lurk, 1 versus 1, potentially against RGL, unless the cavalry comes. An opportunity now with this smoke being left up for Klaus to actually flash through this. And RGL has to be smart about it, and indeed he does. He falls back towards the C entrance, sorry.
Bomb grenade out.
As his smoke was about to dissipate.
This push up here by Nags can give so much information. And it actually pulls back Chosen. Looked like they were going to lean towards the other side of the map, and now A connector has to be covered because the util of that alarm bot is
30
gone.
seconds left.
And they're looking for Chosen to peek. They see a shoulder.
Definitely a Seeker's hit now. Showstopper immediately out for JZZ. Gets hit by it, so forces out the rocket right away. Pain shells on the ground, underhand throw. 15 seconds left on the clock. There's that lockdown. KRU have now to commit, forces a sight. The sprays comes across. JZZ gets the headshot, looks for the kill, but cannot get it. The spike has been planted, and we're playing outside of the radius of the lockdown.
3v4.
And KRU on a post plant. A flash coming through. No lineouts this time around for Davies. Paranoia then comes out of RGL. Kesnet and Nags trying to hold it back. Force on a reload is going to be Nags. Gets it down to 5 HP. Tap on the spike, kissed it, 5 HP, does not matter! Pen shells then coming back after these 2 kills. Maurice now on a 2 versus 1.
Enemy remaining.
Makes it at least that 1v1. The wallbang does not get the hit onto
7.
Nags.
5 bullets.
Another tap coming through. Nags it, pulls out all of the utility down. The kill then comes in for Maurice.
Incredible, but you see the storm that MIBR has to weather to get through these rounds, multiple rounds where Kesnet's getting double nades due to the kills, due to getting that duelist signature back up. And MIBR, JZZ even getting snuffed out, and Seekered on the showstopper comes up huge. And the rest of the team able to secure the kills necessary to get MIBR another round. Hell of a battle there at A, and MIBR comes in with the W.
You saw the idea there from Nags. It definitely looked like, from a point of view of a spectator, you're like, oh, is it intake? Why is he running through this? There's still time on the spike, but he used that utility from that Viper just to re-pivot towards the staircase. And Maurice read that, himself being a Viper player, and read that perfectly on a Red Bull clutch to allow this round to come in for MIBR. And it took everything, all of the ultimates, and a clutch situation for them to get round number 2.
And off the rip right into B here. Looks like it's going to be a big retake. 5v5, lots of utility still to be used here. Oh, FRZ to start us off.
This is good. Paranoia, that's going to hit 2. Doors being open. Melzer trying to hold it back and keeping him away. What? And now the lockdown is just going to push everybody back. Chosen's going to get hit by that, but it still is able to make it out, at least into safe cover. The clock is being wasted now on that spike. JZZ trying to do whatever he can. Fully blinded now. Double swing out from KRU on a post plant. Pain shells being thrown. Post plant utility just too good.
Oh my gosh.
And Chosen, the one that was locked down and detained, finds freedom, but not to their favor. KRU gets 8 on the board with the crowd once again behind them.
This little door game that KRU continues to play is not being won by MIBR, and I wonder why they keep trying to fight through it. The mountain control is something that we see MIBR keep going for, and KRU will not fight it straight up from the attack side, but they'll fight it through the door over and over. Smiles all around. They're winning the 1v1s at this point. We're seeing trades from solo players coming through. The 2v1s are being won by KRU, and the teamwork on top of that when they need it. We're seeing the 8-2 score line here. Shiko around a little bit, actually just one Sheriff on the board for MIBR with a Bulldog for Chosen. And they are still trying to take a little bit of space here to put KRU off.
MIBR want to fight this. Looking for a contact from a flash here as Nagzed goes for the jump peek. There's that deep flash, turns away from it, and now the flood comes across. But Nagzed now could just play the aim lapse. Drops 2 kills, loses the weapon, but at least that's a C site open for the plant.
Maurice gets the weapon. You always wonder. Let's see what he can produce.
Spike planted.
I like the plant. They move it a bit since they don't have that site control. We've been seeing Crew able to get themselves.
I mean,
Melzer's going to stay there.
Nax did everything he could. Spotted the 5-player push out from MIBR. Crew pivots to plant for a spawn, knowing that spawn's going to be open so they could gain that space. And they also have Killjoy Pulse Plant utility. MIBR, what they could hope for at least is to do more econ damage from a spike going off, just like they did a couple of rounds back, to keep the economy low against Crew.
Good placement of the Vandal.
For the first kill against Klaus. Chosen, then punished by Melzer on that Pulse Plant. Kesnet looking to answer back.
Enemy remaining.
Avenges his teammate!
Oh.
And shoots with full confidence as Crew moves up at 9 rounds.
9-3 again? Are we going to get it?
Last round in the
Wow.
half.
Crew continues to dominate here. Starting on defense on Bind, but still looking the same starting on attack here on Lotus. MIBR's map pick for map 2, this best of 3. Elimination is not far away here for MIBR. They want to secure a last round. Get that last ounce of potential in the game to stave off a quick win in second half by Crew if they can get Pistol. This is tough. This is where the pressure sets in for MIBR here. They're looking at the end of the season in LCQ and their chances at champions.
Yeah. Inaugural season now for VCT in Americas.
I know some of them.
Hi, Ethan.
I know some of them.
But indeed, backs against the wall, but they're looking to fall flat so far here in MIBR. Unfortunately, Crew looking like a different beast.
They have been loud for Crew.
Oh, yeah.
Coming into this series for sure in the top. We hear the MIBR fans out there as well, but it's much more timid now as we're not seeing MIBR find answers, get those wins. And even when they do have the site, you're still wondering, how does Crew take this back? It's not how does MIBR defend this. That's the story we're being told right now. That's what Crew is writing.
Yeah.
And that's exactly the story one of these teams, like I said, needed to write coming into LCQ. You can't be timid. You have to go for the throat, and Crew is doing just that. Odin back now onto Maurice as we get into our last round of the first half here, map 2.
And Crew looking to re-add that pressure back towards the consistent seaside pressure that MIBR has been doing again and again. So if an early flash pushes MIBR back as they double up 2 players out towards the front B site. Spike is moving there, towards in that direction. Crew looking for an opportunity here to go for that mid to B split. First, adding that pressure on that A site. There's that flash to peek right back out. The trades are good for both of the teams. Now finally in favor of MIBR. JZZ now with the showstopper, understanding, identifying that a mid to B split was about to happen. And the showstopper keeps everybody away. And MIBR are also very content to give the spike back in the hands of Crew.
Slow push, regain that spike. Crew looks like they're in full control. The movement they do, even when they lose a few, they have a quick answer in what they want to produce. But MIBR, we still see them trying to get their hand in the pie right in the beginning of the round. Maurice took a lot of damage there. And this is going to be up to Chosen for now. They've been able to take down Chosen quite fast each time and just pinpoint where he is.
Viper's pit out. Kesnet with the late lurk. Here's all of this. There's that first one to fall. Pain shells denying that plant down. The Crew picks it right back up. There's only 5 seconds left. Flooding now inside the side. GZZ with 4 kills, looking for the ace. Just around the corner, and he's going to land it. A similar story from the first map. A 7-1 scoreline for Crew. A 9-3 end on the first half in favor of Crew as well.
Incredible stuff coming from Crew. Seeing Crew during the regular season and coming into LCQ, they were one of the worst defensive teams. On Bind, they didn't show that. Now, we get to wonder what they're going to be able to produce on this defense. It is scary the way that Crew is showing here. MIBR, however, grabbing that last one. It's one that they need. We're going to throw it to the desk to see what they're, to Smix rather, with EG's Calm and Jogmo.
Thank you very much, Rivington. As you mentioned, standing here with both Com and Giacomo. So first things first, Com, your haircut's looking great. I know you just got back from Japan recently. So how was that experience for you being in Japan and your team performing as it did?
I mean, being in Japan, all those fans were insane. Obviously, we're coming into Champions, and it's going to be in LA with this great crowd. And I'm hoping it's the same way in LA, and everyone comes out and supports us.
What about for you, Com? I know that Potter mentioned the team was really looking forward to that experience of playing in Japan. How is it for you?
For me, I mean, the Japanese crowd is crazy. They love everybody that comes and plays. Like, I didn't have a team there, unfortunately, but like they supported EG all the way through, and even to the finals. Even on my birthday, like they supported me, and we love the Japanese crowd for that for sure.
Now, how has the time for you and the boys been preparing for Champions? I know we still have a couple of weeks. Were you able to take some time off for a proper break? Are you back into practicing in scrims? How's that been going for you?
We took like a little break, maybe just a week, and we're straight back into scrims. Obviously trying to get past Fnatic, big hurdle, but I'm really excited to see what we can show in Champions.
All right, last question, Com. I see you holding something here. Oh, Giacomo, it's an MIBR flag, and Com, I know you're wearing one as well. I think these boys need your support. What can we hear from you so that the boys get revitalized in the second map?
That's you, bro.
Hey, come on, let's go, Toxic. Come on, let's go, Chosen. Come on, we got this. Come on, JZZ. Come on, we all got this. Come on, you guys got this in the bag.
Sounds good. Thank you very much, both Com and Ja, Rivington and Vanzelli. Back to you, boys.
If I ever need a hype man, I found it.
Are you sure? Are you sure? Will we get Giacomo here as our hype man?
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. MIBR fans right there for sure. And Giacomo and Com. And they are looking for MIBR here to step up in the second half, coming out with a strong attack to now KRU's definitive defense.
And KRU also is a team that never really had such a strong defensive showing throughout the season, and now has been dominant on a first map off Bind on defense and looking to do the same here and close out the series. In a confident fashion, early Paranoia coming out with a 3-player push out from KRU towards A. Meanwhile, though, for MIBR, going straight with the satchels down to 16 HP. That was just going through the toxic screen. As MIBR is looking for that plant in B.
Are they taunting? They're waiting. They want some frags before they do this. They want to feel more comfortable. Oh.
Yeah, these are looking really good here on these lurk, on these pushes. The pivot back towards the C site into Davies' utility. There goes the cavalry pushing forward on the attack. He denies at least one of those 3 players of MIBR. Planning now for spawn. Pain shells on the ground denying that plant. And it might be another book it into a different spot.
Klaus. A big 2v1. One shot on Maurice. Gets it.
Yeah.
RGL is going to take a bit more, but this is definitely a possibility, especially the way Klaus has been playing. Oof.
Sees them both. And you mentioned it. RGL now being the shield. Symbolize that for the Red Bull clutch. What an insane shot.
Here it is again.
Enemy remaining.
The high-low isn't even good enough. And Kesnet with the vamos. Oh my God, what a round. KRU is explosive, and Klaus, the fuse is just so short for the entire series right now.
Santa Claus coming bearing gifts with these shots. Now winning the round against MIBR, continuing the pressure and the shots, dropping Maurice early here. As MIBR potentially flattened. Thought that they had the opportunity to work that map on that previous round and just got denied like that.
Such a devastating shot. You see this round start off. MIBR is going to get their own share of shots.
Well, it's still Klaus, though. It continues.
My word.
Last player standing.
Christmas in July.
You can say that again. LCQ Klaus is of a different breed here. And there is Nagzat to finalize the last one. Just 2 away from moving on here in LCQ and MIBR out of that tournament. Out of the tournament, it's incredible pressure coming into this series today here, and KRU has not let that pressure affect them. Whew.
Now time to play the bonus. MIBR, silver lining once again, full rifles out. JZZ actually has 3 all points or orbs needed now to get the showstopper. So an opportunity to work the map slowly and try to cap on these orb pickups. Chosen's watching for that push, but meanwhile the rest of MIBR are definitely looking for control on mountain, potentially an orb pickup, and there it is.
Slow play here as KRU. Look at this 3 squad moving from B to the backside. The defense here is MIBR safely move into the site of C to get this plant down. Oof.
Smoke dissipates and Kesnet punishes JZZ right away.
They have a post plant for this as well. Chosen has a few mollies that could get set up for this, but
they got Seekers too.
Yeah, they play in sight to keep it protected.
Seekers close range stinger. Klaus is running right behind it, flash out from the dark cover. And he's looking. Nice paranoia coming out too, just to slow down that push. But KRU have finally made it in. RGL Meister playing on an off angle. Capitalizes on 1 kill, but cannot do more than that. Davies trades it right off. 2 more alive, make that only Chosen in this spot before he's good for it. But only for that one. Melzer with the Sheriff will put KRU at map and series point.
You can almost see the trades that MIBR is trying, but for fear of losing themselves while they anchor a trade, they're not happening as fast as KRU. Look at KRU, all surrounding each other there. Well, they have more members, but in just the trades, the positioning they are, and MIBR is still working around, figuring what angle they're going to be pushed from, not having the answer. KRU is creating such chaos, and they're thriving in it here on the retakes. 1 round away from locking in another LCQ match.
This is the LCQ KRU, the team to be afraid of, the team that keeps running these gauntlets in their regions before we had the inaugural season here for the VCTs in Americas. And they're definitely looking like a KRU to be afraid of in this gauntlet run.
This is what Adam was talking about. This is a team that has seen international stages throughout their career. They know what it means to go deep into a tournament. Seeing KRU get so ruffled throughout the regular season was not what anybody expected in America. It's supposed to be a powerhouse coming through, and we're seeing a bit of that life now out of KRU and LCQ. Game point here, series point, as we have a minute left in this round, and MIBR is playing it slow but steady.
In a matchup that was presented by the analyst desk, the Kesnet versus JZZ, both of them with showstoppers now. JZZ the one to initiate first to clear out the site. Off angle being played here for Nagzit. So we're gonna try to go for a nanoswarm off the snake bite to do more damage and hopefully cancel out the first execution.
Little delay.
It's a door being opened. MIBR pivots back towards the B site. And JZZ clears it out. Even moving out towards the spawn. Just around the corner! Oh my! Not even a chance to release it. Klaus gets the kill. Traded off now by FRZ. Oh! FRZ also cancels out the showstopper from Kesnet, allowing the Seekers to come out and spot the remaining players of KRU.
3v4 here. Low HP on KRU. Healed up now.
Oh, that's probably going to be the call now for KRU to just save.
Seems it.
Heroic plays by FRZ once again, but gets denied as he's hunting for kills, trying to hurt the economy of KRU. Clean shot.
Yeah, a lot of searching right now for MIBR. There's so much they actually have to do in an uphill battle of economy. Taking down KRU, figuring out what kind of plays KRU is defending with. This time, MIBR took it into their own hands, rushing down through that mid with the ultimate and being able to make it count. FRZ with some very big frags on that one.
Oh, yeah.
13 and 5 for him, and still trying to put up the frags, being pressured.
Taken out.
Man, Klaus, just so good right now.
And this one right after too.
Stone cold.
Feels like I've cast a curse to both of the showstoppers there. Saying how important they were going to be, but great shots coming out here from both teams to not allow these showstopper to get much value in that round number 16. 17 now underway. Chosen 2 away from a lockdown. And MIBR are just holding their spawns, waiting for Crew, waiting Crew's utility out actually early in this round.
Already, a situation like this, Crew knows it's BC, right? You can't really rush fast towards A if you still have to get by rubble. Great positioning by Melzer, now forces MIBR to figure out what's going on around the map. Here, it looks like they may try to source that information as this one-way clears.
Trailblazer at the minute mark. Leeds has a lineup here for Rubble, trying to push out Melzer. Trailblazer also trying to clear him out. Paranoia hits him, gets away. But there's still the swing out from Kesnit. Cannot catch one off guard. MIBR still finally, they gain control of a Rubble. They could start moving up here as soon as a toxic screen from the defensive side of Crew falls down.
And look what they're making. MIBR used to gain this space so much. There's no FRZ utility for the site until the signature comes back up, a guiding light. And Crew continues the backpedal, saying keep coming into the trap.
Yeah. Nice shot.
Oh, JZZ.
Keeping a spike here on RGL just in case he needs to TP away for a last second plant. Davies trying to hold back the site, but he gets pushed away by a snake bite.
Spike planted.
Awesome pivot here by MIBR to keep getting through and get that site. Solid defense too. I don't think Crew's gonna want too much of this.
Or what they have now for Melzer with his Guardian.
Oh, they are pushing.
He is pushing forward. They have pinched a couple of players back in the B site here, as MIBR is looking for the exit out towards the baby door. JZZ will get the backstab. And that's how you do it. The Grinch stealing away the presents that Klaus has been giving over to Crew this whole map. And that's a good way to bring the confidence back here for MIBR, securing the round and also having fun with it.
That is huge. Backs against the wall in a series point here. A season ender, and they still continue to produce the results. See if they can push another one through. This one, saying that, you know, they lost all that initiator utility. It took them so much just to re-grab Rubble and still know that they can forcefully take through Baby Door into B as a team. That's, I think, what we were seeing from MIBR. Be a little hesitant, not covering each other, a little too distant on those takes of each other, and not being able to anchor. As well as we talked about before, desynced in what was happening around the map for the strategies they were trying to handle Crew with. Someone dying while a push was happening, etc., or somebody not in position yet. Similar scoreline to map number 1 here as Crew goes for the timeout.
Definitely some discussions being made here for Crew on their defensive half. Yes, they're able to, like you said here, add that pressure as they wanted to play that triple push towards that A site. It seems to be the norm right now in these type of compositions too. Just trying to get your Omen into a great position, continue these one ways, and try to pivot back to where the default may be happening from the attack. But MIBR so far has done a pretty decent job here, rotating back and forth and then re-hitting back into a weaker A hold after the Rubble take. It seems like it might be the same thing once again now for Crew. This time with lower weaponry. 2 Guardians, 1 Vandal. Actually a hero buy from what we see previously. Or a hero rifle, sorry, from what we say previously. And JZZ going behind Snake Bites between Snake Bites, burning down to 16 HP.
Whew. What a play. Klaus going down first. Huge frag for MIBR here as they want to get to JZZ to see if they can get a heal back in.
Yeah.
There we go.
We sweated for a bit. But thankfully, the regrowth then comes out for FRZ, popping everybody back up and also getting a clear advantage for MIBR.
Do they get the ult here? Actually, for Davies at B. I think that brings in a lockdown being watched currently. It's on the mind of MIBR too. They do not want to give up any of these ultimates for free. A little bit of stretch towards B. KRU is, or sorry, MIBR is everywhere here. Confidence in their solo play. Proven me wrong that they are timid to get these angles and take these points of aggression.
Still a good read by KRU though.
Yeah.
Gamble stacking now to rotate towards the C side. They read it perfectly because that's exactly where MIBR is currently setting foot. Setting up camp, setting up shot, putting the spike down. Shot missed though by Kesnet.
Okay.
Doing a little bit of damage here. That's 2.
Yep. MIBR gets it. Chosen, RGL, FRZ stay alive. Still great money in the economy here for MIBR as they are getting the crowd riled up once again. Kesnet close to ultimate. A lot of ults going to be up on this round, and it could swing it back in favor of KRU, but MIBR seems to have a very nice hold on the game right now. A lot of their movement before seemed like retaking the map was too much trouble.
Yeah.
They would always lose one, get whittled down before they actually had positioning to take a site. And here, they're making it forward much healthier, much more aware of what KRU is doing.
If you want to look at the chess match between these ultimates, they're definitely giving the advantage for KRU. Having a lockdown and a seeker to push Maurice away if a pit does go down. So MIBR have to be wary of that detail. As orb control comes in for MIBR, JZZ has a showstopper now online.
You can say, I think KRU are expecting a showstopper into sight here.
There's that showstopper in with a push that came out from KRU on a defense. Nano Swarm does some chipping damage.
Welcome to my world.
Great
There's
pressure.
that pit. In a great area as well. Because if a lockdown goes in at a default spot in the waterfall, it's going to be easy for Marines to push forward to deny that lockdown from coming down. So first, it's going to be the Seekers for KRU. Pain Shells to shove some players back. And we know that they're deep inside the pit, deep inside C for MIBR. The post plant as RGL does get the flick out onto Nagset. Marie's inside of his own pit, waiting out the outlines. The lockdown then comes in. A first one into Melzer, and the post plant works so far for MIBR. One player advantage for MIBR.
Enemy remaining.
Make that 2. As Klaus heroic plays before. 2 versus 1. TP away. And now he's going to save his weapon.
Oh my gosh.
Wait, he's going to get caught here by RGL. That's 7 rounds now. And that's a perfect play from MIBR, recognizing those 2 ults that we just mentioned that KRU had for this retake.
All it takes is 1 round from KRU here, but MIBR is not allowing that. Forceful into the sites, gaining control, being able to garrison the site, and their post plants much like the regular season. Basically second in post plants and being able to control teams after they get that spike down. We didn't see them getting the spike down on Bind, which is why we did not see that stat come to fruition for them again. Here, they're getting to the site, they're getting to that strong point of their composition in the post plant, and it is putting a lot of pain towards KRU here on the defending side. Towards C once again.
Pain also in the pockets for KRU. Tried to go for a gamble play to do a trap play towards Rubble in case we had a TP across or a double satchel from RGL and JZZ. MIBR opt to work the C site.
There.
A little bit of overcommitment here. Thankfully, the satchels allows JZZ to fall back here and get all that information of KRU rotating back towards the spawn.
Great paranoia.
Yeah, that's going to blind a lot of people here. Waste that clock down on that spike. Off angle being played, waiting for the flash to come out. Out on a defense, double flash through, but still it's MIBR just spraying across the smoke, all towards spawn. Even a flank coming through towards the back end. And MIBR closing that gap now against KRU.
5 in a row. And only 4 more to bring this to overtime. MIBR's pick. It's playing out a little bit better here. So many Vandalers for the amount of smoke kills we're seeing coming through. You love to still see the preference stay true there. FRZ with Seekers. Big find on this. Kesnet 1 away from ultimate. on that defensive side. And A is the play. Everybody tries to gain this rebel control.
And it's this round that you have the double satchel and TP across. JZZ opens it up against Melzer. They lose control now, crew of the A site, at least towards the orb. Stevie's is looking for the jiggle. There's that first swing out. Maurice falls.
Trial.
And the Seekers are trying to gain that information, pushing players back. That was out from MIBR. As they push him far enough, we break the door. JZZ now moves into B.
They've lost the majority of smokes here. Have to use this wall.
My ultimate is
RGL
ready.
could put up a few good ones, but it looks like they're just going to try to pile through into A possibly.
Yeah, they're going to use this lockdown. And meanwhile, Davies is still holding towards the spawn, thinking that there's going to be a JZZ push, a late lurk. And they know this. All right. So they're re-clearing towards B.
Healing over here.
Meanwhile, we're playing very cautiously for MIBR, making sure that there's nobody pushing, doing
30
any
seconds
shenanigans before getting detained. Spike then goes, actually gets denied. Nice little satchel and even a Stigma on the ground. And first it's a 8 HP and still gets the headshot onto Kesnet.
Just never ends.
Another one to come down the ropes. Nagset now evens it up on a 2 versus 2.
One enemy remaining.
Tournament on the line now for MIBR. Their lives on the line as they're playing the pulse plan against Nags.
And no one peeks this.
Tapping
They
on the
wait.
spike. RGL peeking out first. There's the first.
Wait a minute.
Nags to come out with their heroic play. Trying to get it a half. Now off it. The tap again. Low HP is going to be JZZ. Spike not yet at
See
half.
it's red. He can see it's red.
But it does get it. The classic.